Hello, this is Adam with Tech Dive AV Club, and today we're taking a first look at Movie Studio 16 Platinum. Specifically, what makes it different than 15, and right off the start, you're going to see a lot. I've already been messing with the software a little bit, and I would like to show you some of what it's about. Now, one of the major differences is some of the different modes that it has. If you're a veteran, it still has the advanced creation mode, really just a mode that you're used to. And they call it the power user mode. You can just select always start as power user mode, and you're going to open up in something that looks much more like what you're used to, and we're going to look at that in just a second. First, I want to talk about the guided video creator. So the guided video creator is very interesting. It essentially takes the place of what movie studios used to be for the average man. So if you're into editing and you want to learn what the buttons do and do some advanced edits, this software has you covered. And so none of those advanced features that this software has been taken away, but essentially they've offered a pared down mode for someone who just doesn't have the time and energy to learn it. So for example, I've ran into a lot of people throughout the years who are just looking for a video editor that can push a bunch of photos together really quickly and make a slideshow, or edit just the beginning and end off a video really quickly and render it. And they don't want to learn what all the buttons do. They don't want to learn the complexities of something that's more advanced. They just want something to show them how to do it real quick so it's done and they can put it away. And a lot of times people creating presentations are in this mode, right? They might be interested in this feature. So in power user mode, you can do something like, let's say I have these two pictures I want to add. Well, then I'm just going to add these two pictures here. So I just open it up. Boom, here are two pictures. It shows me all my media. I'm going to say update timeline. You can change what order they're in, and you can update the timeline. Now, depending on the order they're in, you have two pictures down here, and you can hit next, and then you can say, do you want transitions? No, I do not want any fades, transitions. I want transitions. I want fades. I'm just going to say I want fades, and then next, and then at any point you can jump to power, what it's calling power user mode. That's really just normal Vegas. It's going to say if you want an opening title, enter it into the field below. If you want to leave it blank, no title will appear. Yeah, there we go. Next. Alright, now I have an opening title, and then I'm going to hit next again because I don't have any music to show you right now, but you could put some music below. And then what I'm going to say is I want to render this to a video file, and I also want to save the project in a default folder. And I want to hit apply, and then apply, and it's going to say you already have an untitled. And the answer is I do already have an untitled because this is a nothing project, so I'm going to hit yes because I want to erase over it. And then here we go. We got a picture of me and then a picture of Movie Studio's 15 Platinum. I've used this to make some thumbnails in the past, and then like I said, the picture of me, yeah, I just made a slideshow really quickly. So I could make a slideshow this quickly in the power user version as well, but I'm also much more familiar with the power version than someone who's just opened this software. So this is the goal, to make it approachable to someone. I can imagine any kind of person who does a lot of presentations would appreciate something like this, that they can just throw some stuff together real quick and get started. And then look, I can open this video, boom, there we go. Here's my video, it's playing. How pretty, that low resolution Movie Studios 15 Platinum box picture. And then there I am, a little bit green because it's not color balanced right. Alright, so here we are in the easy edit mode, and really this is just a place where you can drag and drop items and line them up here. So you can put titles and all sorts of neat stuff, and we can have tutorials for all of these very soon, but today it's mostly just an overview on what is available and what the changes are. And I'm really eager to jump into power user mode. So at any point you can always click power user mode and jump in. So now we're back in power user mode. If you're looking at the updates from 15 to 16, you're probably someone who's familiar with the software, and this is the screen you're familiar with. One of the things you're going to see is the storyboard bins has really just been limited to the main timeline, which really makes sense because you would have had a whole lot of alternate timelines to sort from, and it's not a feature I use a whole lot myself, but I think it would actually make it more usable to limit that to the main timeline. Now for this next feature, I wanted to show you how this hover over scrubbing works, and so that's one of the things they've added to Movie Studios 16, and it's the fact that you can run your finger, well, I'm using a touchpad, but run your mouse over your clips and it will show you. So as these being pictures will look the exact same, but this isn't a picture, it's a scrolling text, and you're going to see that it's actually showing me what's in here. So it's a quick way to scrub through and see if your clip's going to have what you need before you put it into your timeline, and that is going to be great. One feature they've added is a real-time autosave. So as you're saving your software, as soon as you've given it a title, then it's going to start saving it on its own. Another feature they've added to Movie Studio 16 is if you delete a track, when you right-click and hit delete track, it's going to warn you that there's something on that track. So if you've got a huge project with lots of tracks open and you're trying to reduce some of the tracks that you don't need, it's going to be more difficult to accidentally delete a track that has something on it, something that's depending on that track existing that you're not aware of, which is easy to do when you get bigger projects going, especially when you're creating special effects, compiling shot over shot over shot over shot. Another thing 16 has added, if you're rendering something out and you cancel the render, it will ask you, are you sure you want to cancel the render? Which is great, because I've actually done this before. I've actually hit cancel instead of something else I was trying to do, and I've canceled the whole render. And you know, if you're waiting on a big, long project to render, then that's gonna set you back maybe 30 minutes or an hour of your time, which can be significant. So a very useful text box there. One of the things that's also changed is a simplified transitions and effects window. So you'll notice that there used to be this simple text through here. If you look at Movie Studios 15, you would see that there were text laid out all throughout here of all the different effects, and then when you selected that, then you would get different presets throughout. The presets aren't gone, but really what they've done is simplified the process, because it was actually very excessive. So once it was nice when you were first kind of browsing through and seeing it for the first time, but as a veteran editor with Vegas, I can tell you that I don't really use many of the presets. I just create them myself. So I want to go straight to something that is cool. So let's say I want to add this video effect, brightness and contrast here. I can add it and throw it on there, and if I want one of the presets, I can hit this drop down menu and select one of the presets. So all the presets are there, but they don't necessarily take up as much space showing you themselves. So this way you can quickly look through all the different effects and what they do without having to scroll through that side menu. So it's actually sped up your process without you really knowing it yet. 16 is that it automatically updates. So instead of you having to go to their website and download this update, or having to suggest to you to download the update and then you download the update and run it, it'll really just kind of pop up and say, hey, there's an update. And I've already done this once. There's an auto update right day one launch, and I clicked update and it said sure, and it pulled me through the whole process. It was simpler than ever. So some of the things that it just inherited from its Pro 16 daddy is inherited the 360 stabilization. So that's stabilization for 360 video, not just stabilization. Vegas has had stabilization, but 360 stabilization is for 360 video, and it's also got a 360 video workflow, which is something that I would love to demonstrate for you. I'm still getting together my 360 video stuff, so that's not something I can show you just yet, but I can tell you that this software does support full 360 video editing, and that's something at an incredibly low price point for 360 video, and everything else it does, like Baitzer masking. So Baitzer masking, I'm going to drop it right here and show you a little bit of this window that pops out. This gives you the option to track motion and put a title on that motion. So if a car drives by slowly and you want to make it look like there's some words on that car that tracks with the car, instead of you having to manually keyframe the car driving by, the words on the car driving by, mainly keyframing out with these animation tabs, you can actually track it with Bates or masking. So that's a very cool option there, and it's something I'll be having a tutorial on. So the video stabilization they've added is right here, and this video stabilization, you would drag it onto a clip in the project media, you would apply it to the clip, you would hit media effect, and you would apply the video stabilization here, and then before you instantiated it into the timeline, before you moved it to the timeline, you would stabilize the video, and it would render that out and stabilize it. So that's a cool feature. I've used it before several times, and it's a whole lot of fun to watch one of your shots that you just weren't quite sure you were going to use because it was too shaky, and then watch it stabilize, and then feel very comfortable using it, and your shot actually ends up looking a lot more professional. And then there's an option in the burger menu right here. This is the burger menu to check the media effect, which is great because it used to be if this got too small and you wanted to see the effects on it, then you couldn't see it. You had to scroll in to see it. So now it makes sense that if you want to see any media effects you have on it, you can open them up right here from the burger menu. So those are a lot of really awesome changes from 15 to 16 for movie studios, and those are changes I'm pretty excited about, and it's inherited a lot of the awesome effects and stuff from its big brother or daddy software, Movie Studios Pro 16, and did I say Movie Studios Pro? I meant Vegas Pro 16. But Movie Studios 16 Platinum is something I'm excited to start working with, and I'm also creating a comparison for this between Adobe Premiere and Final Cut, and nope, did I say Final Cut? I meant DaVinci Resolve. Final Cut's only for Mac people. That's not something I will be reviewing because this is a Windows software. But I'll also look at Adobe Premiere in that battle and see how these things flesh out, which one's the better software, and you probably know my answer, but I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm putting together this big fun video about it. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Tech Dive AV Club. Comment if you have any tutorial ideas. I've got a lot more overviews and things like that of the Movie Studio 16 software coming out shortly, and I would like to say that if you're wondering if you should upgrade, just a quick recommendation. I would say if you're using 13 and older, you definitely need to upgrade, because it's not good to let your video editor get too many versions old. You start to run out of codec support and things like that. Now 14 and 15 are very well made software, so that's really when Magic's got full steering of the helm for the Vegas software, and those are great builds, and I have 14 on a work computer just because I wanted an extra license on there and I didn't want to use up one of my newer versions, and it still works great when I use it. So that being said, if it's accomplishing what you want it to accomplish, 14 and 15 are something I could live with a little while longer for sure. Consider 16 if you really upgrading is always cheaper, and consider 16 if you want these new features, which are some pretty cool features. So I think it'd be a definite worthwhile upgrade to 16 if you choose to do it. Definitely if you have 15 though, or 14, those would be the only two versions where I wouldn't be pressuring you to upgrade. If you got an older one though, I would definitely suggest upgrading to Movie Studio 16. And if you don't have Vegas at all and you're watching this upgrades video, what are you doing? Go get Vegas. If you buy it through our affiliates link, that helps us out. If you would like to see any tutorials, let me know in the comments below. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. This has been Adam with Tech Dive AV Club.